So if you create a string using a string constructor, what type of data is it? If I check the dead, okay, strings are immutable. These are the string. Next, so how many ways we can able to create a string? Okay, so there are two ways. One is using literal, okay, string literal. So whatever just now created is a string literal. So another way is string constructor. There are two ways. Okay, but when it comes to approach, the best approach is always string literal. Okay, so there are two ways. To create string. Okay, the first one is string literal. Okay, string literal. So this is the best approach. So it's easy to create also. The second way is called string constructor. Guys, make a note of these things. In JavaScript, everything is an object. Everything, number, string, array, functions, everything is an object. Okay, in the last section, when it comes to object-oriented programming, you'll understand all this concept. Okay, so everything is an object. So using constructor is a kind of function. Okay, it's a kind of function. So we can pass values and we can generate an object from these things. You see the last in oops, the main oops is built on, so the same concept only. Okay, for the time being, just understand. Okay, don't go deep dive. Okay, so we will see in the last classes. So I'll use new string is equal to, see how to write a constructor using new keyword, new string. See, when I hold on this one, see, it will say it's a string constructor. Okay, so string constructor, inside this one I'm going to pass the string. Okay, so what is the string? I'm going to pass it here. Just double quotes. It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. Okay, so if you create a string using a string constructor, what type of data is it? If I check the type of, so what type of data? Yes, it's an object. It's an object type of data. If you're using a string literal, what type of data? String only, right? Okay, see, observe, console log. So type of str, it's a string only. But when it comes to type of new string, so it's an object. Okay, it's an object. We can have a look of these two outputs. See, observe, str comma new str. See, it's a first string literal, but string constructor. So the string which is been using a constructor way, so it looks like these things. Understood? Okay, this is how it's going to work. Yeah.
To give an available time to running. While we are running the process, we will provide a variable value. How will we?
Variable value means what?
If we give input now, that will be read to the machine.
Okay, so
we will assign the value through line itself only. But while we want to provide by user, how it will be?
So you want to know how this executes? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So whenever you execute this one, the inside the browser, we have a JavaScript engine. That engine will convert human readable code to machine code and will execute.
For a variable, we are are giving a value.
Mm-hmm.
Let me equal to string.
Mm-hmm.
అలా కాకుండా మామూలుగా మనం ఎంటర్ అలర్ట్ మెసేజ్ ఇస్తాం. అలర్ట్ మెసేజ్ ఇచ్చేసి ఎలా తీసుకోవాలి వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూ.
ఇక్కడ చూడండి, కన్సోల్ లాగ్లో నేను రాసినాను ఏమని, స్ట్రింగ్ న్యూ స్ట్రింగ్. ఓకే, సో స్ట్రింగ్ అంటే, సో ఐ నీడ్ టు యాక్సెస్ దిస్ స్ట్రింగ్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద వాల్యూ స్టోర్డ్ అండర్ దిస్ స్ట్రింగ్. ఓకే, యూ వాంట్ టు యాక్సెస్ ఇట్. సో దిస్ is the one way. Okay, so the second way I told you, right? So document dot write. So if you want to print it in the document, okay, you can use it. There are two ways, but I ask you to go through console. Why? I will tell you why it's necessary in the console. Okay, so okay, I will explain. So once I done with this topics, okay. Console.logstick. So there are two ways we can able to print it. So ఇది నా క్వశ్చన్. మరి
ఇప్పుడు లెఫ్ట్ దగ్గర వేరియబుల్ మనం ఇవ్వకుండా ఇన్పుట్ మనం కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలంటే అక్కడ ఏమి వాళ్ళని అడుగుతుంది.
అదేంటే
ఓకే 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 ఓకే. సో ప్రాంప్ట్ కన్నా మీరు వేరియబుల్ డిక్లేర్ చేయాల్సిందే కదా. వితౌట్ వేరియబుల్ హౌ డు యూ స్టోర్ ఇట్?
అది కండిషన్ ఎలా
ఇది డైరెక్ట్ గా రాసుకోవచ్చు. సి without variable you can get it, right? ఇదేనా? See, storing and accessing, right? Without storing, how do you gonna access it?
what I am saying is if you want to give a value to
Okay.
a variable, at what condition you want to write. ఇప్పుడు let equal to a equal to something వాల్యూ ఇస్తాం. అలా కాకుండా మనం ఇక్కడ కండిషన్ రాస్తే ఈ కండిషన్ వచ్చేసి రన్ టైమ్ లో యూజర్ అనేవాడు
Prompt. Prompt only you can store it in A only, right? So let A is equal to prompt, enter the value. So it's going to give a prompt pop up here. You have to provide the value. That value is stored in the under A only, right? Yeah, prompt. Yeah, you can use a prompt also. Okay, so you're accessing input. See, you're receiving input. So this is also one way, but no one is going to access this. So you know forms, right? So form is the main input. Okay, so while working with forms, I shall tell you. So you create an input field. There you're going to provide input, and I'm going to access that from that input document.get element by ID. So there also we can get it. So still I'm not done with this. Okay. So for the timing you can use a prompt, but in the prompt also you need to store the variable. Even if you document.get element by ID, document.get element by ID also, you need to access it, right? So you have to get the ID of the element where it's storing, that dot value, you're going to access it, right? Yeah. Okay. String is not defined. Okay, so document dot write. That means you should ask, like, you should not hard code the value. This is called hard coding. How do we enter a value dynamically from the user input? Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, this is called hard coding. I am only doing here. Everything is hard coding in the code only. But if you want to get dynamically, you have to provide input field like forms or text area or model pop-ups, like model pop-ups also. There also we use the forms only, and then prompt, console.prompt. So prompt, we're going to provide this one, that where value is going to store inside this one as a string, and I have to convert back to number. So these are things.
So prompt future concept.
See, these are all called web APIs for our use only, but in real time we will not use form, prompt or alerts, all these things. So we'll use toasters, model pop-ups. So user client is completely strictly, so he will not ask you to provide any alerts pop-ups, or from some cases say they will say okay, but in real cases 99% they will not approve the prompt and alerts also. Okay, we will use model pop-ups or forms. Okay, so this is called string constructor. So now tell me, I want to access the values. So I want to access values of third index. So at the third index, what is the value stored? It's an L, right? So how do you gonna access? str of 3. Okay, see how to access an index based value. So using square brackets. So property, then square brackets. Understood? So can I iterate on these things? Yes, using a for loop. See, I want to print all the characters individually. So how are you going to print it? For, so let I is equal to 0. Why I should start with I is 0? Index it starts with 0, right? Index it starts with 0, and I should be less than, see guys, I should be less than or equal to string dot length, not length, it's a string dot length minus 1, because so the last index of a string is one number less than the length. This is what I explained, right? You either you can give this way, but I will prefer I should be less than string dot length. That time not negative minus 1. The minus 1 doesn't require, because the string is a 5 characters. Okay, the length of the string is 5 characters. What is the last index? 4. So up to 5, see, 4 is less than 5, it works, but 5 is not less than 5, so it will, the condition will fail. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, someone will prefer I should be less than equal to string dot length minus 1, but I will prefer string dot length. Fine. So then I plus plus. Okay, so here I'll print the console string of I. That's it. See, in the first iteration, what is I value? Well, dynamically it's assigns. What is the I value? First iteration 0. String of 0 is what? What is the character which is stored at string of 0? Right. Next I becomes 1. So string of, this time it's going to reasons to 1. String of 1, right? See, I value keeps on dynamically changes for every iteration. So I is 1. So what is the value at string of 1? E. So likewise it's going to print it. See, HEL L printed 2 times, so it's going to, so 2, so O space WO or LT. Understood? So this how you're going to iterate over the string, and you can access the characters and print it in the wherever you want. Okay, so this is how you're gonna access it. Okay, let's start with string methods. Okay, string methods. So guys, so here you'll see a lot of methods. Okay, mute yourself guys, someone's turned on mic. String methods. So JavaScript is shipped with a few inbuilt methods. Okay, so we can use those methods. Okay, and we can do our manipulations. So if you want to do some manipulations, you can do your manipulation, but always keep in mind strings are immutable. Original strings stays as it is. If you do some changes, it will store in another memory, means it's another variable. Practically, if I say it's another variable, it is going to store. The original will always stays as it is. Okay, I will show that one also. Okay, fine. So here what I'm going to do, you know how to check the length also, right? So length of the string, str dot length. So it will print 11. Length of the string is 11. Okay. Okay, this is the way you can check the length of a string. Okay, for the first string method I'm going to use is called index of. See, all these methods are camel cased. You know about camel case, right? We are using the same convention. Okay, so everyone try to follow the same thing. So what does it does? It returns the index of first occurrence of given character. Okay, I'm gonna comment all these things. You can comment and practice. So here I'm gonna define another string. Let index let course is equal to UI development AIT, like these things. So we have a UI development. It's a string, right? So here what I'm going to do, I want to check the first index of AIT. Guys, turn off your mic. Someone turned it on. Please check everyone your mics once. Okay, so how do you want to do these things? So console.log, see, observe. So course dot index of is a method. So method in the sense you have to write method in a parenthesis. So course dot index of. So there I'm going to looking for AIT. Now tell me what is the index of AIT. At what point the AIT will start? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. From 15th index, the AIT will start. Okay, it gets the index of the first occurrence. First occurrence means, observe guys. So the character might be repeated in the same sentence. The character might be repeated, right? See, observe AIT, AIT. So which one will take? It always takes the first occurrence. So first occurrence will be start at index 15. So it's going to get that respective value. Understood? Fine. So this is how the index of. Come again. Come again. Come again. I lost you. Your voice is completely breaking. Can you hear me? He's talking to me or talking to someone else?
I think it's talking with someone else.
Mic is on.
Okay, so this is how index of is going to work. Next, last index of. We can explain this one. Last index of. So returns the index of last occurrence. That's it. Okay, last index of. So what is the last index of AIT? The same. So 16, 17, 18, 19. It starts with 19, right? Okay, so in the entire character, in the set of strings, so where does this character exist? So first index, the first in the chain, the first sequence in the characters. The last is last occurrence. Okay, next. Character HUD. So from now onwards, so we have seen from the character we will search for index. Now I'm going to provide the index. It will get it will retrieve the character. Okay. Returns character at specified index. A course dot character at. Okay, so 10. So it's M. This is the M. At 10th index, what is the character we have? M. Next. So character coded. This is most important. Okay. So sometimes I will ask you to filter only the alphabets. So there you use this method. Okay. So if you want to add filter, so string might contain any characters, numbers, string, symbols. It can contain anything.